Hello, welcome to Digustiods podcast, the new and improved one. I'm here today with a very special guest and um, a former collaborator. Um, it's Max. He's back.
Was.
You can see he's a little delirious. He's back from the Alps. Yeah, he ain't doing so well.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Max, you keep saying that. I gotta let my dog out, even though I told him that I'm starting, and I told him to get up. He didn't want to, so now he's just gonna stand in the wall. Get out. Okay, buddy, go.
I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist.
Max, you have to tell me what you just said.
I hate the Antichrist.
Okay, so that's good. That's fine. Except for the people who like the Antichrist, so,
Oh, I hate the Antichrist.
Shit.
I will not drink the cough syrup.
Listen, I'm sorry, guys, if you like the Antichrist, I'm sorry. So yeah. So this is, you guys remember Max, he's back. Now, Max, do you maybe want to relay some of the information of where the hell you were?
I'm alive. I'm alive. They didn't get me. They
Who?
did not get me.
Who was after you, Max?
The funny men.
Okay.
The one.
We could certainly say that, someone's happy. The gorilla's happy to see Max again.
Oh,
So that's at least
I
one
love
thing.
the gorilla. Gorilla's my friend.
He's also your mate, so, I mean...
Don't bring that up.
Look, I
I
mean...
don't like. I'm trying to get past that, okay?
Yeah, we're all trying to get past stuff.
that.
Max, we're all trying to get past stuff. Okay? I understand. Anyway, so, you want to maybe shed a little more light than just the guys? Maybe, like, the funny man? You know, maybe, like...
Funny
where the
man.
fuck you were and why the hell you kept sending us letters saying you were looking for the perfect child.
So I was on the run. It was actually a cover-up. The perfect child. I was on the run. I didn't want them to know it was me because I knew if they catch me, they send me back. They send me back. So
Send
I
you
got
back
that. I meant
where,
man.
though? Because you're not in China. I know they kicked you out of the China. So where
not
the hell were you?
Oh.
We thought you were in the Alps. Were you in the Alps?
It was the. I shouldn't say. They might hear me.
Oh, just say it. Just say it.
There's no Russians.
Oh, yeah, of course. We were in Portland, for
Russians.
Christ's sake. They're not going to come here.
They put me in one of those. Put me in the funny place with the funny men.
What, the two?
the gulag. The gulag. They put me in the.
I don't know if we could say that on this podcast.
The gulag. Gulag.
Wait, isn't that a German thing? You're bullshitting me.
No, that's Russian. You're thinking concentration camps.
Oh, okay, so I think we could say it probably, right? We could probably say gulag.
Gulag, it's the communist thing. You don't like what he say, go to gulag.
Let me look up what a gulag is.
There, right? They had me in there. I got out, right? And they almost caught me. I told them I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist.
I think
I
you
hate
do.
the.
I mean...
And they said, no, you must love Putin. If you say anything again, we're gonna. I'm not saying anything about Putin.
Oh wait, I think this is actually good for us because maybe if you start saying you don't like Putin, I mean, doesn't Joe Biden hate Putin?
I don't fucking know.
Joe Biden, I know you don't like Putin too much. I'm pretty sure at least. We don't like him either. So maybe you could let us out of Portland. Maybe you could let me or Max out of Portland, to be honest.
If you let me out of Portland, they're going to hand me over the Russians again.
Oh,
no way, I'm not moving here.
Oy. Okay, well, we're stuck here, so, I mean... Yeah. Oh, my God, I'm so sad.
I saw horrible things while I was there.
I'm so depressed. What'd you see, Max? I'm assuming you saw something horrible. To be honest, I don't know where the fuck you were talking about, because all those letters were addressed to just the Alps. So I don't know what the
They
hell you're
were
talking about
written in
Russian camps.
code. Why can't you read the fucking code? They were,
Because we saw they were from, and it literally just said the Alps, and every letter was stained in blood, and it just said, we are trying to find the perfect child. Max, what is the perfect
the
child?
child represents freedom, hope, right? Like a hope, a new light, as in a way to get the fuck out of the gulag.
So you were trying to find freedom, but why were you saying that the letters were from the Alps then? It doesn't make that part doesn't make any
Supposed
sense.
to just fight for that and figure out. Wait, why would Max be in the
We
Alps?
kind of just thought. We don't know. You left. You got sent past a truck. You got put in a truck and then just left in the middle of the night, but forcefully. But yeah, like we have no idea what the hell happened.
They did horrible things to my butthole. You ever see a man claw out his fucking eyes because he didn't want to see the terrors of a place anymore?
Max, you have your eyes. What the hell are you talking about?
I was just talking about a hypothetical where someone I was there with, right, would claw out their eyes. He didn't actually, but he was like, I kind of want to claw out my eyes so I don't
To be
have to
honest,
look at
I
it.
mean the gorilla. I was gonna say the gorilla would probably be a worse butthole thing, but I mean he was pretty
Stop
gentle.
reminding me.
He's
I'm trying to be a
gentle.
friend.
He's
He's
the
better
one.
than the Russians. You should have seen what the Russians did. They
He's
put
the one.
vodka bottles up there.
Bitch, he's the one paying
Horrible.
the fucking rent. We gotta be nice to the gorilla. He got mad the last. He got mad. We can't be mean to the gorilla anymore. You got any money since you've been in the fucking Russian camp?
How the fuck would I get money?
I
I
was
was in a
selling
fucking
cigarettes.
gulag. I wasn't getting ciggies. I was fucking getting butt raped by guards, by Russian Spetsnaz and the fucking.
That sounds awful, actually. That sounds fucking
And
horrible.
then when I finally
The
was out
fuck?
of there, right, I was captured by the UN, and they told me you will love the Antichrist. I said no, I will not love the
This is
Antichrist.
very
And they put
un-PG. This is not like we usually have. This is fucked
PG.
up, Max.
Not seen PG in years. You, it felt like years. Was it years?
Max, it
How
was
long
like
was that?
it's fucking 2 months.
2 months. It felt like 12 years.
This is why I
It felt
can't believe half this shit. It's 2 months, Max.
and then they put me in the camp in the UN, right? They said it was one of those for the migrants, the refugee camp, right? But it was a fucking gulag. It was the same shit. And they came in and they did terrible things to me. And they said, "You will love the Antichrist." I said, "No, I hate the Antichrist. I hate the Antichrist. I hate the
Well,
Antichrist."
Max,
Eventually,
Max,
I got my way out of there.
let's just say me and the gorilla missed you a whole lot,
Oh,
and yeah, and just sitting here in this apartment. Me and the gorilla have been recording the episodes of the podcast. Just chilling.
okay,
Just me and a gorilla. Nothing else. So
okay.
yeah.
I love you guys too.
Yeah, I mean, we love you, Max, because we know you would never leave us, We'd never leave you, like,
Not that other guy.
nah. Nah, it's just been me and the gorilla.
Isn't there like Scoots?
He,
Usually says that one
see,
word by
they,
now.
they kind of, I'm being professional here. They realized that Scoots, was, a butt-fuckering traitor, and, he would fit right in over in communists, so they left him in China. He's now their leader. So no one try and contact him. That's it. He's just in China now. So stop messaging, please. No, in all seriousness, he is not. He when we were shipped back to Portland, he decided he wouldn't take his judgment with me and the gorilla, and now he's back home. The reason Max is stuck here is I actually don't know the reason. He's kind of just here. I sent for help. I figured Max had some form of money. He does not.
I don't have money. I was in two different
We
gulags. I
did
was in the
not.
Russian one,
And
and
when
then
I
I was in
say
the UN gulag.
we, I mean me and the gorilla. But we did not know where you were. We assumed you were in the Alps, and just kind of going batshit insane. But we assumed you were at least getting money. I was paying you still in cookies. I was sending the cookies over to the address.
I did actually get the cookies. That was quite nice.
Yeah. We did though. We did just assume that you were in the Alps going batshit insane, and like I think the biggest theory was just like you were hunting. Since you have your own rifles, you were just hunting in the Alps and you selling the fur and shit for money and just sustaining
No,
off that.
I was fighting my way all the way back home between the butt rapes of the UN and the gulag Russians and like it's fucking insane.
I can
And
imagine.
then I led an arms rebellion and let me
Well, I
get
mean, we
into
don't
that.
gotta get into that.
It's
I think
not.
right now we should catch you up on what you missed.
Yeah, what I miss? Like
Um,
is the round feller.
who?
Like Scoot, whatever.
Like I said, he is he he's he's just not here. I don't really want to talk about Scoots. This is Disgustoids after all, and I mean everyone's known for a while now that I am one half of it, and you know Scoots. He didn't take his role committedly. He decided not to you know take it seriously, and you know that's really it.
What a fucking asshole. He
I
should
mean,
join the United Nations.
I kind of hope that he finds whatever he wants to find over in you know wherever he is now. But yeah, I will no longer. We had creative differences, and it was just creative differences. We will no longer be in communication.
Did he say the no word?
No, no, no. We're not trying to discredit him. He was a fine man. It was just creative differences. Just
He probably said coronavirus. Oh, I just said it.
Well, no, you're allowed to say that now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how much you've missed. Where you're allowed to say that word now.
oh, you mean they're not gonna? Is the butt rape over?
Oh, you meant the Russians. No, I think the Russians probably kill you for saying that. YouTube
I'm
won't.
not in Russia, right? I'm in
No, no,
Portland.
this is Portland. It's a little bit worse. I'd say it's worse, but you know,
It's a little better than the gulag. It's like a gulag, but with a little less butt rape.
no, there's still that.
A
Remember
little less.
we live with a frisky gorilla.
We live in society. We live in society.
Yeah, I mean, but Max, did you hear about We need to get. We're getting off topic. I have some things written down here I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Max, did you hear about They made a revival. People are still clamoring over it. Max, do you remember the year 2013? Do you know where you were?
2013.
Let's say September 2013.
September 2013.
Around that. Where the hell were you? Huh?
I was starting school, high school.
How old were you?
Innocent back. I was 15.
Hmm.
At that point, I hadn't killed a man yet.
Okay, we're gonna get off that topic. Max, so in 2013, you know where I was? I was in first year, sixth grade, and I remember a show came on, and that show was called Teen Titans Go.
Oh,
Yeah, and I remember laughing and thinking it was funny.
I don't remember that part. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, you were in high school. I don't know if you would want to watch Teen Titans Go.
I like cartoons.
Well, yeah, but maybe not Teen Titans Go. I mean, you saw the ads for. Then again, the ads were kind of misleading. The first ads, I could say that. No, but because there's a funny phenomenon going on. Because you know what Teen Titans Go just hit?
What?
Well, right now I think it's currently here. Let me get my facts straight. But I think it's currently at 400 episodes.
Wow.
Episodes.
400? That's insane.
Yeah. How many episodes does Teen Titans Go? Oh no, never mind. No, they're at 311.
That's still pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
311. And also they have 311 episodes. They have one movie, one TV movie, and 15 specials. Or no, and 7 specials. Sorry, I read that wrong. It was movie, TV movie, and then like fucking 7 specials, and then 311 episodes, and going. They're still making new episodes. So that's just crazy. But 6 seasons, just like Jesus. But I can wholeheartedly say it's about to pass actually because it aired in 2013. In a month,
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go would have been on air now for, let's see, 7, 9. No, wait. No, yeah, 9 years. Almost a decade. And they're not ending it anytime soon. Almost a decade. Think about that.
It. I think it lasted more than the actual Teen
No,
Titans.
that's actually the funny. I think it did. Hold up. How many episodes? There you go. The original Teen Titans had, let's see, how many episodes is not going to be definitive? Oh, here we go. The original Teen Titans had only, go down to here, 65 episodes.
Wow.
So what is 311 minus 65? Let's see.
I don't know. I don't know math.
Yeah, let me just do a calculator. Here, wait. 311 minus 65. So Teen Titans Go has 246 more episodes. So yeah. And then there was also that time that Cartoon Network teased the fact that they were going to make a spiritual successor, or at least like they were going to continue the original Teen Titans, and it was a troll. And I found that extremely funny. But anyway, I'm bringing this up because recently a bunch of people on Twitter have just been like shouting that. Just like, oh my god, it's still shit. And like by this point, me and like a collective of other people that I follow or I've seen it are just like, just fucking move on already, right? You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, Jesus, dude, it's almost been 10 years and you're still complaining about fucking Teen Titans. Like, come on. It's a fucking kid show. They make like fart and they make like actual poop jokes.
Yeah.
Every other episodes. They have episodes revolving around poop jokes. But it's like, it's not like, I'm not going to sit down and be like, oh, it's satirical. I'm saying like, they have shit and fart jokes, and sometimes that's the plot point of the episode. And yet you're sitting here and the plot of the episode is Robin's gonna take a shit, and they're gonna talk about taking a shit and how to take a shit, and then you're gonna sit there and be like, why is this trash still in the air? It's like, dude, you're making fun of that. That's what you're doing with your time, right?
Poop joke.
No poop joke. No. Whole episode of a poop joke. Whole episode.
Okay, like, I was never really a fan of it or whatever, right? But that's fucking amazing. The whole episode of poop joke.
Oh my gosh. This is pretty
episode.
fucking amazing, yeah.
Yeah, an entire episode of a fucking poop joke.
There's an entire episode, I remember, there was one entire episode where, it was, what is it? It's, like, I remember a big thing between Teen Titans is, like, they did an entire running point of episodes, they did, like, 3 of them so far, where they just, like, sit down and talk to you about, like, financial aid. And, like, health. And, like, health. No, I'm not even shitting you. There's episodes, and they did them at first just to, like, fuck with people, and they're still going. I know this is the newest one, is that the Titans sit down and talk about rental property. No. The first one was they sit down and they just talk to you about how to own property and do rental property. The second one was how to do your taxes. And the third one, most recent, was how to purchase a car.
Oh my god.
Just the most, like, nonchalant things for... And by the way, these are the lowest rated episodes. I know that for a fact.
I want to see those. Those are the
we'll
ones
watch them later. No, they're fucking hilarious. It's just literally them. It's Robin just explaining real, actual facts that you can use in the real world about this shit. And it's literally just to poke fun of like, oh yeah, you want to make like a 25-hour rant about our show? Okay, here's an episode where you have to sit through it, and it's just gonna teach you shit. Just go ahead, you know. And then it's like, I actually loved there was this one episode where it was a crossover with It wasn't that bad of a show. There was a Cartoon Network recently. It was like I think it was like early 2019, but then COVID happened and they had to fucking shut down production. And then it was delayed already for a year, but then they had to shut down production, and then it just aired to like they kind of just threw it on like Sunday mornings. They rebooted Thundercats.
Oh,
You heard of that?
heard of that? Oh boy, did I hear that!
Like I didn't give a shit, but like I get that like oh you had to grow up with the show, but the part that I was getting mad at was like okay at least like Teen Titans, you know, like because people forget like most cartoons today, they're not made in the mindset of this, but especially in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, most cartoon shows were made in one light in mind. It's just like, can we make toys and T-shirts and stuffed animals and beach towels? And if we can't, then we're going to give you like one season or maybe just 6 episodes, and then we're going to cancel you if your show idea does not catch on in toy form. But especially the original Thundercats it's like He-Man. It was solely made to just sell a toy. Like, even, like, at least, like, because what I was going to bring up was with Teen Titans, when that came out, yeah, no, they definitely were just making toys beforehand, before the show even aired, but at least, like, it was based off a comic book, and at least, like, with other examples in the 2000s and maybe even the early 90s, it's just, like, at least maybe most of the time, like, the brand was made first, and then they would make a toy. No, in the 80s with, like, He-Man and Thundercats and shit like that, it's just like, oh, no, we have this toy, and he's a G.I. Joe, except he has a lion hair, and his name's Lion-O, get it? Because he's a lion. And he has a big sword, right? And he can't move.
Yeah, I mean Transformers, which I love Transformers, but
yeah,
it was made to sell toys.
Yeah, it was made. They made the toy first. I know for a fact they made the toy first. They made the toy first.
Dinoplanes.
Yeah, and it was just like Transformers. You could transform from a car to a robot man, and it's like now just make a TV show. And like I could say they made movies, and the movies at least has some form of effort into it. But even the movies were made because I've seen the Transformers movie, and I know for a fact. Spoiler alert: the fucking first like 5 minutes, Optimus Prime gets killed. They introduce a new Transformer, and then they made that new Transformer so that it'd be like, okay, he's the new leader, kids. Go buy his figure. Go buy his action toy.
I love that movie, but that's absolutely the truth.
Yeah, they killed off Optimus Prime, so all the little kids in the I mean, not even just like all the fans would just be like, oh shit, I gotta go buy that new toy because Optimus is dead. Fuck, and they ran over to the store and bought it.
Well, they got so much fucking.
No, I know that. I know they got so much hate to the point where I've also watched with my cousin the G.I. Joe movie that came out in the 80s, and I know for a fact in the original script for it. They were going to have the main G.I. Joe, like, leader fucking die. But since Optimus Prime got such hate, at the last second they hastily, like, threw it together. And it's like, he's not dead. He's in a coma. And then at the end of the movie, he shows up in, like, not even animated. He just shows up in, like, pencil art. And you don't see, like, his lip movements because it cuts off. And he's just like, I just woke up from a coma. Did you guys beat Cobra? And they're like, yeah. He's like, oh, good. Because they were like, shit, we can't have him die. Because their original plan was have him die, and then we have this new guy, and he's going to come in and be like, I am the leader now. But we can't do that, so it's just, I am your temporary leader. He's in a coma. He's not dead. He's in a coma. Yeah, no, but I bring this up because it's just like the same shit. It's like, I got so pissed when people were complaining about that. Because I watched that new Thundercats show, and it's not bad. The animation's pretty fucking amazing, actually. Like, I don't know what people are talking about. It's pretty fluid. You know, it was basically just what Teen Titans Go was, but the issue people don't understand right now is, like, especially, it's going to end in, like, I think it's got, like, 2 years left on it at least. But, you know, the current thing right now is either reboot the show or make a new show and make it a slight action with, like, little action themes, but mainly comedy show, you know?
Yeah.
It was like how the 2000s and, like, the 90s were filled with, like, kind of grungy shit. 2000s was a bunch of action hero shit. Fucking 2010s was a bunch of goofy shows, but still had a lot of action, like story-driven shit. 2013 had a little bit of story-driven, and now it's mainly like cartoons with a big branching story, or cartoons that are just not even episodic and just have wacky jokes in them throughout the whole episode. The whole episode's a joke, you know.
Yeah.
with not even taking itself seriously. So, you know, you have those two panels, but like with that it was that. But I got pissed because it's like, you motherfuckers, you're talking about like they're ruining Thundercats. It's like, how many times has Thundercats gotten ruined? It's like you
It's
had
been remade a couple
no,
times.
you had the '80s one, which people liked, but was made solely because we have this toy. I want to sell this toy. Hasbro said. I don't even know if were they owned by Hasbro. I don't fucking know.
I'm not
Mattel.
sure. I think it's Mattel.
Yes, the Mattel was literally
I
just like,
could be
we have
wrong.
this toy, and it's literally just a blank GI Joe figure model painted orange, and it has big fluffy hair. Um, we're just gonna take it, and now it's a show, okay? Like, at least the Star Wars shit, because I don't like Star Wars fans by the least. Like, I don't really like them because I don't like Star Wars. But it's just like a thing of like, at least with Star Wars in the '80s, it was or the '70s and '80s, it was literally just like, oh, the movies came first, then a huge fucking giant toy line came, you know? It's like
Yeah.
at least the movie came first. Then they have that toy. No, it's just like, we have this toy. Okay, release the toy. Okay, kids like the toy because it's the '80s and there's nothing else to do for kids. Um, give them a show. Okay, and now your entire show, like you can go back and watch because I know there was an analysis video. I don't know if there still is, but because someone else had the same opinion as me, and it's just like they made it, and it's like here's what they did. Hey, look, episode like 13 of the original Thundercats. There's an episode where they never fucking explained it, but now just miraculously they have like a tank and they have like a jeep, and then right in between that episode and the next episode is a commercial. Buy the new Thundercats tank, the fucking Thundercats tank and jeep. Look how cool it is, kids. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like and then that's why the laws are passed. Where it's like, no, you literally cannot do that. Like by the '90s, they were like, no, motherfucker, you can't do that. You can't be in the middle of a show and then cut to a toy commercial and force because the kid's a fucking idiot, so he's gonna want it. You know, it's brainwashing the kids. That's why Copa was invented and shit. So yeah, and then I was just like, you do realize you're like raging about that, right? I mean, because think about it, it's the original Thundercats, and then the only other time it was rebooted was in like 2008, and that fucking horribly failed. It
I
was
thought people liked it.
people liked it, but as in if you're talking about toys and the general public and kids especially, because remember, this is not really an adult cartoon. It's a like middle teenager, like 13 and 12 to like kids show. And if
Yeah.
kids don't like it and kids don't buy the toys, then the show's gonna tank. I think it got one full season. It appeared on Mad TV, which was Cartoon Network's skit show, which
I
Mad is actually pretty
remember
funny.
that.
It
I
appeared on
remember that.
it appeared on fucking Mad, for Christ's sake, where they made fun of it. When Mad is making fun of you, that's when you know you fucked up. But it appeared on Mad, and then like it had like a fucking 7 year hiatus, and then it comes back. So it starts in like 2008. It has like a 7 year hiatus. It comes back in 2012, and then it lasts for like half a season, and then by the end of that season, it's just done. They're not making any more because it just stunk. Like, this is also how bad it got. I remember in 2009, I went to this. Remember, the show is still airing its first season by this point. I went to Five Below near me, and I was looking around because I'm a little shit 8 year old, and I saw a Batman toy right next to it. I saw every single Thundercats toy they released, all for $2. The
Wow.
Thunder Tank was $5. They couldn't get rid of it at like Toys R Us and Walmart, so they're like, fuck it, Five Below. Put it in Five Below. The show's fucking tanking. We can't do this, you know? I didn't think it got a video game. Like, normal shit gets a video game. Everything gets a video game, you know? Didn't even get like a beach towel. It just failed. And then you have this new one, and it's actually just trying to do something new with it. Granted, it's a fucking comedy, but at least like the guys behind it. Hell, the guy behind it who like made it was a Thundercats fan. He was like, yeah, I'm just trying to like, make it for a new generation. And everyone went
Yeah.
off on him. And it's like, I understand why you went off on him because nothing could be rebooted. I understand that. Everyone understands that by this
Yeah.
point. But it's still just like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's fucking Thundercats. You know? Like, you can't fucking... Like, if it was some... I'm not trying to bias anyone, but if it was something like Kids Next Door or something, like, I'm just referring to cartoons in the 90s and 2000s and shit, where they weren't, like just so heavily marketed that it was made solely because we want you to buy our shit, Like Ben 10. Ben 10 was made in like 2005, right? And it was pretty obvious when it was made that the only reason they picked up on it was because we can make a shit ton of toys. And they did. They made a shit ton of toys. It made sense why they bought it, you know? And why they made like 17 series out of Ben 10. Because they make a shit ton of toys, you know?
That or an alien device
Is
did
what
what
it
it
did.
did.
It stuck
It
itself
stuck
upon his
itself
wrist
upon
and
the
secrets
secrets
that
that
it
it
hid.
hid.
Now he's
Now
got
he's got
superpowers.
superpowers. He's no
No ordinary
ordinary
kid. He's
kid. He's
Ben 10.
that.
Ooh. I met the artist who animated that.
Really?
Yeah, you know that little sequence where it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and it like cuts between like it's an art style to different art style.
Yeah.
It's the little aliens. I didn't meet them, but I saw them at Comic-Con, and I like waved, and it was like one of those fucking things where you say you met them when you didn't. I just waved to him, and he went like, "Hi."
No, when I say I met someone, I mean I fucking met them.
Sometimes I mean it too. In this instance, it was a slip of a word, and I meant I just waved to him, and he waved back.
I don't like bullshitting people.
I've met some Call Me Johnny 7 times, if that's for anything. Fucking,
Who's some call me Johnny?
he's a video game reviewer.
You
He
met him 7 fucking times.
Yeah, the first time was
Probably know
magical.
your fucking name by now.
No, I know for a fact. Jesus, you ever like have that moment, especially when you're little, and it's like a guy you idolize or a person you idolize, like either says your name or does something related to you, and you just fucking squee or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that happening so much with Some Call Me Johnny because I found out about him in 2014. Basically, what he does is he hasn't made too much this year because of COVID. Also, I think he kind of just ran out of stuff to do for a while, and he took like a hiatus because his mom also had like an injury. He's this guy who he's very lovable. He's this like kind of wholesome little bit guy who fucking makes old video game reviews and shit. He's just kind of fun. A lot of people know him.
Well, clearly I don't.
Well, yeah, like, do you keep up on trying to video game reviewer stuff?
Angry video game nerd.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. No, but, I remember what happened was, it was the first time I ever had an interaction with him. It was, he was doing a live stream, and I was, like, actually 13, and I messaged him, and I was going to bed, and I was doing that funny thing where you're like, oh, I'm gonna see if he answers me. So I'm like, good night, Johnny. And he says, good night, Luke. And then he says my last name wrong. But even with that, I fucking saved. It was the first time I ever spent 20 minutes watching a YouTube tutorial to find out how to say, or a Twitch tutorial to find out how to save a clip. And I saved the clip of him saying that.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I must preserve this. I have no idea. I know I downloaded it and put it on a hard drive. I have no idea where I put it, though. But it's just on a hard drive somewhere, and it's him saying my name. And I was like, oh my god, he said my name. And then the next time was, I just met him at a con once, and I was so fucking... It took my dad, like, literally pushing me towards him to get me to talk to him. And all I did was say hi and had him sign a copy of my game. I think the only other funny... Like, here's another funny story.
Wait, how'd you meet... You didn't actually meet him 7 times.
I met him like 7 times. Let's see. Okay. Too Many Games 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and that was it. So that's 6 already.
Oh.
A Video Game Con 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. So that's 4. So that's actually 10. Hold up. MagFest 2019. So that's 11. And he was at Comic-Con once, so that's 2012. And then, hold up, there's another one. Oh, yeah. Anime Next, he was there twice. And Castle Point, he was there twice, so that's 4. So that's 11, that's 16.
And he doesn't know your name by now?
Because it's one time during the day, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so I've also met his brother and his friend. It's Elliot and Matt. But you don't see too much of them anymore. They had this fun gaming channel, but since COVID, it completely fucking shut down. They've been uploaded in like a year, which sucks. They were right in the middle of Saints Row 2, and I got pissed about that. So, yeah. Anyway, then I've actually met the AVGN. This is I don't think I've ever told this on the story. This is a funny story. I met him. I've only met a Angry Nerd twice, or no,
Angry
once.
nerd.
Okay, AVGN. I've only met him once, and the one time, two very hilarious events happened that I literally like still laugh about this day because it didn't hit me. One of them didn't hit me until like a couple years later, and I noticed it. This was I think around. It was like a year after his movie came out, so it was 2015. It was the second year I went to Too Many Games in Philadelphia, and I walk up to him and I get on his line to like he's signing posters, and I buy I still have it hanging up. It's my Angry Video Game Nerd poster signed by the nerd, signed by his friend Mike Matei who does cocaine, and it's signed by their friend Bootsy, who no one knows who Boots, just fucking random guy.
Wait. I didn't know you met Bootsy
Yeah,
too.
no, I bet I shook hands. I think I do have a picture with Bootsy in it.
Wow.
So what happened was while I'm on the line, I'll tell this one first because it's more short-winded. I went up and I was wearing a hat, and at one point, I was trying to be generous and like maybe like, oh my god, I could have a moment here because fucking James Rolfe ABG and he dropped his fucking phone, so I went to pick it up and I literally knocked heads with him, and he fell
Oh.
back and went like fuck. And I was like, oh no, I'm so not getting that picture. But he still got the picture and shook my hand and he was like, oh, it's okay.
Do you seem like a nice guy? Cause
No, they were all
a nice
very.
guy.
What?
He seems like he'd be a nice guy.
No. James Rolfe is really nice. Mike Matei is also nice. He's a bit of like a weird feller because he has a very weird opinion that he's claimed, like people claim it's fake, but he's come on and been like, no, it's 100% true. Mike Matei thinks that no game has been good since like '88. He believes like when did the original Doom come out? Whenever the original Doom came out, he thinks that's when good games stopped. There hasn't been a good game since.
Died.
He's a super retro gamer. And also, there is an allegedly, but you will look it up and you will find it later, folks. This is true. Or I will link to the clip if I could find it in the description. But there is one where Mike Matei, there's a stream from like a year ago that he did, where he's doing like Mega Man and he pauses, and then he puts his face down, his entire like face, and you don't hear anything because he mutes his mic, but his face goes down, and like he kind of like moves back and forth, and then he gets back up and he's shaking his head, and he like lifts his head up and like taps his fucking like ear, and then he taps his nose for a quick second, and then he starts twitching a little bit while playing the game and like slurring a little bit. And then people are like, oh my god, he fucking did cocaine. And then he said like, no, I didn't do cocaine. And then like he did like 3 more times the next like year. He just did that same thing where he taps his nose a little bit, and then he twitches his eye, like his left eye, and then he just goes like, you're. So people were like, oh my god. And then eventually there was an edited photo, but people thought it was weird, where he has like giant red bags under his eyes. It's like, this is a photo of him. So yeah. But when I met Mike,
more like Mike Cocaine.
Mike Cocaine, it's like Mike TV. But this is the funny story. When I got the poster, it also has another signature on it, but I have no idea who it's from. I know it's Mike Matei, James Rolfe, and Bootsy, but I don't know who the other guy is. I think it was just some guy they had helping out, and he just signed it. So yeah. So what happened was I got them to sign it, and as I'm looking, Mike Matei signed in a very weird area because I noticed it. Everyone else like tried to not, because it's a big poster like the movie poster. Everyone tried to not sign in like an area that would block the poster at all, you know. Like Bootsy signed in like the bottom left, and the nerd signed like near his character in like a blank space, you know. And even the random guy signed in like a corner. But fucking specifically, I noticed he was doing this with like a couple other people. Mike Matei, and especially if you said like I watched the movie, Mike Matei was drawing his name all over the black guy in the movie. And I
could see.
I think I've told you this, right?
Yeah.
It's literally just been like, wait, what the hell? Why did he do that? And it was because in the movie, that black guy is the nerd's best friend, and in real life, Mike Matei's his best friend, and Mike Matei only makes a short cameo, and no one really knows. I'm thinking it was a joke. There's no way he like had hateful spite towards this fucking guy, because Mike Matei can't act that well, so it makes sense they would actually hire like an actor to play the nerds, but instead of Mike Matei. But I'm thinking he would just do it as a joke, you know. I don't think Mike Matei's racist. Everybody, don't worry. Fucking Mike Cocaine, no.
Mike Cocaine.
Crack cocaine. If we ever stream on Twitch, I'm gonna raid Mike Matei and just be like, Mike Cocaine. Oh my god. I'm trying to think, because I had something else funny that I wanted to share. Oh yeah, I didn't... Okay, I remember this. I never... Okay, so, I went 1 year, and 2 funny things happened that year. Number 1, well, 3 actually. I didn't know it up until that point, but I just knew it was important, so I had a photo. This is the first thing. It was 2016, I think it was. Either 2016 or 2017 was, like, Sonic's, like, 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary. So what they did was Too Many Games like made it Sonic themed and shit, and they hired a bunch of Sonic people.
Whoa!
Yeah, exactly. And I went to a panel because it was just like it was one of the big important panels. So I went there and I sit down and I like hear the guy talk for a minute. And then as he's leaving, he's like, I'm going to go do autographs so if people need me. And I noticed he was walking down the hall with like his son with like a bag of luggage. And I was like, I'm just going to see if I get, hey, can I get a picture with you real quick? Okay, real quick. And as he's like running, I had to walk with him. And I understand because he was in a rush to get to the booth. But I did take a nice picture with him. And I was like, I wonder who the fuck that guy is. And I look on the thing and it says a name. And I'm like, I have no idea who the fuck that guy was. Later on, I show it to a friend of mine at school. And he's like, dude, that's the voice actor for Eggman. And I was like, oh.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I have a picture with me and the voice actor, and I think the voice actor for Eggman's son or something, because it was a young kid. So, I didn't know, though, at the time. I had no idea who the fuck he was. His voice did sound familiar, though. So I was like, oh, I think he's from a video game, you know? I just didn't know. It just said him panel. So, yeah. And then the other funny thing that happened was, I wasn't there, but I saw the aftermath of it. Have you ever seen, I'm not going to say it, and Max, please don't say it. But have you ever seen that video where it's a black guy walking up to Scott the Woz at a con and he says, Scott, you know you might, right?
My
and
ninja, my favorite Fortnite streamer.
Yeah, exactly. He says, you know you're my ninja, right? And then Scott awkwardly shakes his hand and goes, sure. You ever see that?
I think I might have.
I was there for the aftermath because as I was walking, I didn't know at the time who the fuck Scott the Woz was. I wish I did, but I didn't. So I was just fucking walking down the hall, and then I saw that guy leaving his fucking booth. I know because I saw his fucking face on Twitter. So I saw that guy leaving. Either it was from another thing, but I just remember seeing Scott laughing and that guy laughing. So it's like, oh my god, I was there right at the end of the fucking, like, him saying the N-word.
Dude.
And then the only other thing I realized was, the Nostalgia Critic's last con appearance at Too Many Games, because he appeared at Too Many Games actually more times than the nerd.
Wow.
And the reason this was his last is, I was there for the full 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was in the hall a lot, and I was, buying shit or playing games, or, doing, maybe 1 or 2 little small tournament things,
Yeah.
And the nerd, when he was there that year, got a giant, huge booth. That was in 2016, actually. And in the very same year, fucking Nostalgia Critic was there, too. So the nerd gets this giant back booth with, spotlights and an actual stage where he signs autographs and does panels. And the Nostalgia Critic sits in a fucking small, cramped booth with him, his brother, and occasionally Linkara, who just switches out for his brother. I was gonna go over there, but then I was like, I'm kind of done with Nostalgia Critic. I don't really watch him anymore.
I think you should have.
I should have. I should have gotten him to sign me, he had, screen... Okay, so this was the funny part. The nerd had, fucking movie posters and, just AVGN, fucking drawings. Nostalgia Critic had one Nostalgia Critic drawing, two like drawings made by someone else, and then just like 3 headshots of himself. He had like Doug Walker headshots, with like his hat off or something. And I was like,
hello, I'm the nostalgia.
and I was like, I should have spent the $5. I should have just spent the $5 and bought the fucking portrait of Nostalgia Critic with his little signature on it and Linkara's signature, but I didn't. Because I didn't realize how much of a meme would be today. Because at the time, I was like dropping off from his fan base, so I wasn't making fun of him yet. So yeah, but no one went to his booth, which was very sad.
I would be sad if I was Doug Walker.
You know, like, even everyone, like, Scott the Woz was right next to him and, like, this other fucking nerd show. And it was just, like, they were getting people out the ass. Scott the Woz had, like, a huge line on Friday and, like, Sunday. But he's just, like, sitting there, like... Even at one point he yelled, "Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic." And they looked both ways. He said, "I'm going for lunch. This is the last chance today if anyone wants to sign with me." And, like, everyone still in the home is just like... So anyway, how much do you want for that? And he was just like, oh... It reminds me of that Shadman comic where he kills himself.
Which one?
There's a Shadman comic where I remember this was how I got introduced to Shadman. I didn't know about him before 2013. And then a friend at middle school showed me. It's just a comic where Doug Walker goes to, like, a fucking con with, like, funny enough, Spoonie. And they're fucking, like, just walking in, and a bunch of people walk up to him dressed like fucking his Suburban Nights character, the fucking Link guy, and they're, like, screaming Nostalgia Critic quotes, and he's like, And then he gets home, and he's at his parents' house, because by this point he was still living with his parents in, like, 2013. And he goes, like, "Mom, Dad, I'm home." And they go, "Okay, Doug, sweetie, you go upstairs to your room." And he goes up, and it's like a race car bed, and he just fucking hangs himself. It's like, Jesus Christ. I told him, like, Jesus Christ. And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's serious." And I was like, "Motherfucker, Doug Walker killed himself." It's like, I've never seen this. And he tried to convince me that was real, and I was like, "Fuck you." It's like, fuck off that it's real. Yeah. Doug Walker, someone like, he killed himself, and then a day later someone was just like, "Oh yeah, let me draw that he killed himself, haha." I think that'd be funny. I think it would be funny if Doug Walker jumped off the building now.
I mean, it would be, but, like, I'm not gonna get into that.
I don't want it to happen, because then we'd lose all the funny Doug Walker memes. We'd lose all the times. We would lose all the times.
Like, "Hello, I'm Doug Walker, and I'm reporting from hell." And then he has the Satan character. It's like, "Oh, Nostalgia Critic, I've waited so long."
You gave the original Tom and Jerry movie a bad review. You belong here. It's really good. It's a fun movie for all ages. And he goes, "Oh." And he goes, He does a Lenny scream from The Simpsons where he goes, "How?" And he goes, "Yeah." Do you think if Doug Walker died right now, Max, let's get serious. If Doug Walker died right now, do you think he would go to heaven or hell?
Isn't he, like, actually an asshole?
Yeah.
That should answer the question.
He's like, okay, from what I've heard, I've never met him. From what I've heard, it's like, okay, Doug Walker is, like, okay. He's not the nicest guy. Like, from what I've heard, and from what I've seen, known, and met, and also heard, it's like, I mean, not Mike Matei, fucking James Rolfe is actually genuinely really nice. He's, like, really good to work with. Nostalgia Critic is just like, like, it was like, maybe if it was 2010 and he was still, like, fairly new, you know? But, like, no, after like, 2012, he's just kind of been, like, fucking bad. Like, yeah. you don't want to do anything with him. I mean, that's when fucking Suburban Nights came out, and he made, like, he fucking blacklisted, or at least attempted to blacklist an entire camera crew, because they were like, "No, we don't want to stay out until fucking 3 a.m. filming fucking a scene where you go into the park with your balls hanging out, and you yell at some kids. We don't want to do that." And he goes, fine, then get out of here. And then he like cut Spoonie and like fucking Linkara out of the movie. And he's like, now you're the cameraman. And then they were like, oh. By the way, we did not finish, Max, our screening. Remember how we were screening fucking? Yeah. So we gotta finish that one day when you guys come back. When you come back over, we gotta finish.
Urban Nights. We gotta get to the good part.
We gotta go to the good part where fucking Doug Walker yells at children in the park. A mother is walking with her child and going like, "Oh man, like it's such a lovely day, isn't it?" She goes, "Yes, mother."
And he goes, "Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic."
Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad.
What?
You ever? Oh god, I just actually like threw up a shit ton in my mouth.
Oh.
It's not even the part where it's like lingering. It's just like actual throw up.
That's gross.
I haven't thrown up in so long. Like last time I actually like regurgitated was like, fuck, because you don't throw up every day. It's like only when you're me, really. Oh god, throwing up is usually on the occasion when you're like fucked up really badly. This is just, god, that was fucking gross. I was in the middle of like a joke, and then I just fucking actually spewed.
It was God punishing you for insulting Doug Walker.
No, I like him. I think the Tom and Jerry movie deserved that rating. It fucking sucked.
I remember loving the movie as a little kid, but
I remember this exact scenario in.
I remember it was like, whoa, you just talked. You could talk? Yeah, I could talk.
I remember in 5th grade it was storming out and they played it for 3 days in a row, but we never finished it. So I went on a mile-long journey. But via that I went on my Nook and tried to fucking find it on YouTube. When I was I was like 5. I was like 12 then, and I was trying to find it, and I literally could not find it free on YouTube. And I was trying to find like anything on it, and I was like, shoot, I can't see the ending then. And then guess who I found?
What, Nostalgia Critic?
Yep, that's the first Nostalgia Critic video I ever watched. Up till that point, I was still free. I didn't know who the hell he was. But then, of course, I had to look that up. I had to look up who the
Nostalgia Critic was introduced to me before. Actually, let me not bring that up because it sounds like you're pretty pissed at him.
Rapist?
Is that what Scoots did?
Oh my god. No. We're just not... Let's not bring him up. I don't want to bring him up. I seriously don't want to talk about him. It's going to ruin everything.
Alright.
Anyway, so, we got a good, 50 minutes, so I feel like we're good.
Alright.
This was a good episode, Max. Thank you.
Yeah.
My new co-host, Max.
Yeah, it's nice to be out of both gulags without UN guards or fucking Russian guards trying to shove down my throat with fucking propaganda and doing weird things to my butthole.
I think if anything, this proves something. The Chinese didn't really do that much bad stuff to you, right? I mean, they just kind of threw you on a truck because you were hairless, and they thought you were a girl.
I mean, they were about to, but...
What did they do?
They were about to do some weird things to me. They, pulled out these whips and stuff.
Oh, did they see your penis?
And then basically what happened was the truck, what I called it a
Trump.
The truck hit a bump, right? And then I fell out of the truck. I ran away. And then I was caught by the Russians.
Where the fuck were the Russians in China?
They were just kind of hanging out there, seeing what was up.
Okay.
It wasn't in China. It was a little west of it.
Let's fuck it. You got out of China. That's the best part. Now you're here in Portland, and
Yep. It's nice to be not in as much of a gulag.
So yeah, this was Digustiods, episode 14/9.
More like 60/9 because
I miss Scoot.